welcome to Quays TV News. I'm Tom Rowland. More than 900 more jobs are to be cut at Manchester Council. It's the latest wave of spending cuts and will see nearly 1 in 8 members of staff losing their jobs. It's part of council bosses' plans to save a further £80 million after government cuts to local budgets. Motorists will be stopped at checkpoints by police for breath tests in a crackdown on drink driving in the run-up to Christmas. The annual campaign in Greater Manchester comes after 8 people lost their lives last December and nearly 600 were injured. Drivers will be targeted in areas where they may find themselves behind the wheel under the influence of drink and drugs. Future gaming technologies have been showcased at a BBC Academy event at Media City, UK. Our reporter Thomas Deegan went down to see what was going on.
The broadcast and gaming came together for Fusion Summit. Inform, educate, play. An event organised by the BBC Academy. There was exhibitions for developers and talks on the future stability and technology of the industry.
Today's event is Fusion, and really what Fusion is about is looking at ways the broadcast industries and the games industry to explore the symbiosis between these two different cultures. Well, gaming is undergoing quite a transition at the moment, going again from the big consoles, and it's moving into multiple platforms. And what's nice about that is now the renaissance of a massive independent sector that's happening again. It's like the 80s revisited, which is when I started out in the business sector. It's very exciting. Well, I think this is an absolutely fantastic facility. I give my right arm for it. To have actually a university campus right in the heart of the industry is fantastic for the students, where they can actually see and identify the industry they're targeting. Amazing.
I'm Thomas Deegan, reporting for Quays TV News.
It was a day of celebration and excitement for Manchester United fans as the Sir Alex Ferguson statue was unveiled. Sophie Dulson reports.
Statue commemorating Sir Alex Ferguson's quarter century at Manchester United Football Club was unveiled at Old Trafford. An array of friends, family and a host of former players returned to their old stomping ground for the occasion, all paying tribute to one of the finest managers in British footballing history. On the day, Sir Alex Ferguson's wife, Lady Cathy Ferguson, stepped up to do the honours and unveil the statue. The statue takes pride of place outside the stand that bears his name and will join other statues of United's legendary boss, Sir Matt Busby, and Old Trafford greats, Sir Bobby Charlton. The statue depicts Sir Alex in a familiar pose with his arms crossed and keeping a watchful eye over the Old Trafford surrounds that he has called home for the past 26 years. This is Sophie Dulson reporting for Quays TV News.
Now, in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to see the film The Hobbit at a cinema near you. And joining us in the studio is a man who has been very close to the action. Craig Budgen is a personal trainer and spent time in New Zealand training the Hobbits to make sure they were film ready. Hi, Craig. Thanks for coming in.
No problem.
So how did you get the job working on such a blockbuster as The Hobbit?
It was like any other job, really. It was a case of seeing a vacancy available and then applying for it. I did take a gamble, went over to New Zealand without having full confirmation.
And where did you see this actual vacancy? Was it in like a local paper?
Online. It was a New Zealand based.
Right, okay.
I'd been made aware of it.
Sure.
Was encouraged to go for it.
I mean, it's such an amazing job. And
Yes.
What was it like working on a set of such a huge Hollywood blockbuster?
It felt normal, to be fair. You don't really realise it because it's such a big production and there's that many people on it.
Yeah.
And all you focus on is your job, and then because you don't see anything outside of that, and it's just training people day to day. So you obviously become more aware of it now as you see the almost hysteria.
Well, let's actually have a very sneak peek of the Hobbit trailer now.
Far to the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
I like visitors as much as the next Hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come visiting.
Mr. Baggins? At your service.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering.
Now, just looking at the trailer there seems to be quite a lot of heavy costumes. So what sort of challenge did these heavy costumes present?
Well, that was probably the main reason somebody like me is brought on board for a film like this. I know the actors day to day sometimes we're wearing costumes that were up to 50 kilograms for up to 16 hours a day, which puts a tremendous stress through the body. So it's my job to obviously get them strong and give them the endurance to be able to go take after take and obviously look great while they do it.
Sure. So would you actually fancy yourself over in Hollywood acting on other big Hollywood films?
Yes, I'm definitely open to that.
Of course.
Particularly for the weather. But I'm obviously always looking at new opportunities. So that's definitely something to consider in the future.
And were you a Lord of the Rings fan before The Hobbit?
To be completely honest, no. I didn't know anything about it, to be honest. But once I got confirmation I had got the role, I went out and got the DVD set and watched 10 hours straight. And then had an almost crash course.
So how many years before like the actual Hobbit had you had much sort of personal training experience?
Well, it's 2002 when I first qualified as a personal trainer. So I'd been doing it 8-9 years previous to that, and then obviously it's been a couple of years since because it started working January 2011
Sure.
with the cast.
Well, it just looks like such a great film. I'm personally very, very excited to see it.
I'm actually excited as well.
Yeah. So, you know, for all those people at home that don't know when it is coming out, what is the release date?
Thursday the 13th of December.
Thursday the 13th of December.
Yes, that's correct.
I've, personally got my ticket already, so hopefully
Me
you'll be
too.
dressing up for that. Thank you very much for coming, Craig.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Local residents and the Archaeology Unit of Salford University have teamed together this month in a project to gain further understanding of Salford's history. Sean Cooper reports.
This week, Salford University's Archaeology Unit were carrying out a dig on Chapel Street in an attempt to uncover some of the city's industrial heritage. I interviewed Matt Bishop on the scene.
The purpose of the dig, we're looking to find a set of workers' housing. So it dates from the 19th century, and this is all of this and all of over there as well. It's a very big area. So we're looking to find as much as we can to tell us as much as we can about the people who lived there, really, and the sort of conditions that they lived in. We found numerous buildings that we thought we'd find, a few bits and bobs that we weren't sure about before we started looking. We found a lot of bottles and various bits of crockery and sort of day-to-day stuff. Because these people weren't wealthy. They didn't really have anything. They had sort of basic crockery, basic sort of items that were easy to get hold of, or that they could make themselves. So yeah, we found all the sort of general wares, but the thing to remember is this has all been demolished and then it's been built on again. So the fact that things survive is sort of almost miraculous, really. But we've got loads and loads of sort of intact bottles and jars and all that sort of thing. So things like that, is quite miraculous that they survive. We came here initially for 2 weeks to do the dig, and then we found enough to warrant a big full-on excavation. So we invited the community down and the locals and the groups and stuff, and we've been doing now for 2 weeks, and then it's on for another 2 weeks. So anyone else is welcome to come down and join us. Yeah. If anybody wanted to get involved with the dig, they could come down whenever they like. They go onto the website, the Salford University website, and then the Centre for Applied Archaeology. They can go on our Facebook page or our Twitter feed and find their details out there, and then just email or call, and we'll sort them out. Yeah.
This is Sean Cooper reporting for Quays News.
That's all from us at the Quays News team today. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.